First shot, left lane. Back in the groove, Jim Pencak, EVA national champion.
Back in the groove it is. Jim Pencak, who had 238 his first game, has won 12 consecutive singles games on television. And he's got as tough an opponent as you'll see all day long in Dave Ferraro.
With shots like that. 4-time champions on television last year 6 times, and without a victory earned $137,000.
A quick 5-step delivery, short backswing, good wrist action, good loft, a little stiff-legged at the foul line. Look at that arm going directly towards the target, the big loft on the dry lanes over the foul line. Ferraro, one of the great clutch players, one of the great all-around players on the tour. He can hit all conditions.
Wobbly 7 on the left lane for Ferraro. Kingston, New York.
David sends the ball into the 1-3 zone. The 5-pin will be driven over towards the 7, but it goes just in front of it. The 4 doesn't give him any help.
Last year, second 5 times. Previous year, he won twice. Earned over $150,000, Dave Ferraro. And now, Jim Pencak, whose current earnings of $96,865, put him second behind Monticelli. Double for Pencak. Let's take a look at the Budweiser Kingpin standing. 125 points for first and so on down the line. Points awarded to the winner, bonus for being the tournament leader. And through 5, Monticelli in the lead, Voss, Warren, Lawrence, and Pencak. Pencak today a chance to move into second. The Budweiser Kingpin standings. Here he is, third frame, double up. Three in a row.
Boy, he just has it all going. He solid the pocket in the first frame, just rips the rack in the second. Here in the third frame, he gets the wall shot. He's got everything going, tremendous confidence, and nobody can deny that record of 12 straight victories. Don't count out Dave Ferraro. Ferraro, who has had wrist problems, he has it all wrapped with a wrapping and a steel brace in there to keep it from being snapped again.
Well, that was a strike in the third frame. A man that's been very successful in the past. We asked the reasons for a minor slump this year.
Well, obviously he didn't have too much to say about his slump. He's not in a slump. He made the top 24 the first 5 out of 6 weeks, and Dave Ferraro with a strike here could put a little pressure on Pencak. Fourth frame.
A double for Ferraro, and trails now by only 10. You'll hear from him a little later, as we'll be back with more.
$40,000 Greater Hartford Open next Saturday on ABC's Showboat Tour.
That's right, next Saturday, our 15th stop on the tour. Part of the casino here at the Showboat, the size of a football field. Action everywhere. There's action in the lanes here on the second floor of the Showboat. 60 lanes. Beautiful facility. Vice President of Sports here, Al Huff, and his staff, including 13-time champion Billy Allen. Done a great job hosting the 160 pros that started earlier in the week. Pencak, who finished fourth, he won the first match, 238 to 209. String broken at 3, leaving a 10-pin on the right lane. He's had a minor complaint this week, sustained a cold. Should have all gone, right? Now across lane, 10 pins. shot, marking with a spare after 3 strikes in a row. Here's Bo.
Thank you, Chris. Tony Westlake, 2 tough competitors out there, and who would you rather bowl and what style are you going to use?
Well, it doesn't really matter who I bowl. If I go out and make good shots like I did last week, and hopefully I can get a few strikes, and hopefully I can win.
Sooner or later, somebody's going to stop Pencak. Maybe it'll be Westlake, maybe it'll be Ferraro, Chris.
There's a 15 strike for Jim Pencak. Going into the frame, leading by a mere 9 pins, and now with a double up. Here is Dave Ferraro, who can take the lead by 1. Good direct line and a 10 pin. Had a 7 pin earlier, now the single 10 on the right lane as Tony Westlake loosens up, continues to warm up as you hear other pin fall. So now let's hear what David Ferraro has to say about reasons for a minor slump this year.
Well, in the past years, I had a problem with my wrist. I also had a problem with a groin pull, and I think I just lost my confidence. That's what's keeping me down this year. So hopefully today with a win, I'll get my confidence back up.
Okay. There's a lot of people from Kingston, New York here. Big strike for Ferraro. Coming in the 6th frame. And now Pencak back, strike up. Can increase his lead again to 20.
Jim Pencak, in that 12-game streak he has going, he has averaged 224, and his opponent's just 201. As you see the overhead shot, the angle the big hook ball player is playing. From the left side over the 3rd arrow.
Didn't trip the 4.
Pencak with that 224 average for his last 12 games in the championship round was bowling lead this year before he came out on the tour. As you see his ball going a little high, leaving the 4-pin. His league average was 253 before he came out here on tour, Chris. So I think his team might miss him a little bit back home.
Missing the 4-pin. That's big error.
Well, he picked up a harder ball to go at the 4-pin, and we said there's oil on the left side, the last 8 boards, and he just doesn't have that ball turn over and just slides right by the 4-pin. And the first major error that Pencak has made today, he has opened the door for Dave Ferraro. Ferraro was trailing by 9 pins, sitting on the bench. He takes a 2-pin lead. The value of making marks, so important in match play.
7th frame. Undaunted, because of the error, he's right back in the pocket with a booming strike. We're in Atlantic City. This is our 2nd match.
Plus the Bluegrass Stakes, all live next on ABC's Wide World of Sports.
Boxing from London, racing from Kentucky. Good 1-2 punch. Here's a guy that now has the lead by 2 pins. Can increase it to 12, Dave Ferraro. High hit, leaving the 4. We're at the Showboat Lanes in Atlantic City, New Jersey. We're in our 2nd match. As you see, Antoinette Secreto and Gloria Ferraro, Dave's grandmother and his wife, who calls David Salt because he salts away money.
Not a bad attitude to have, huh?
Not a bad attitude or nickname to have.
Dave's father was a harness race driver, Chris, as we know we have racing on following us in Wide World of Sports. And I just have a couple of tips for you, Chris.
You do?
Summer squall will either be wire to wire, and if anybody else is going to be there, be unbridled, who will be a good closer.
All right. Dave Ferraro striking in the 8th frame. Now Jim Pencak, who has a strike up, he'll be shooting in the 8th frame.
Big shot for Pencak. Remember, 12 victories in a row in the championship round. Nobody has ever had that many before. He now trails by 2 pins. He had an open frame. He missed the 4-pin here in the 6th. needs some pressure, put some pressure on a very tough clutch player, Dave Ferraro. Key shot.
Is there power on that 16-pound ball or not?
Well, he's riding the crest. Inside shot sends it almost out to those last 5 boards where it would have slid by and left at best a 2-4-5-8. He just menages it into a strike, gets the lead back, can extend to 18, ninth frame. The match is far from over.
The 2 previous telecasts, he has always finished strong. Maybe weakening in the middle, but always strong at the end.
Carries the wall shot. Ferraro now up in the 9th frame. He knows about racing. It's time for Ferraro to go to the whip right here. Trails by 18. Needs to put some pressure.
On the stretch drive, Dave Ferraro has doubled. He has cut Pencak's lead now to 8 pins. The winner will go on to meet Tony Westlake, and then our tournament leader, Purvis Granger.
Dave Ferraro, one of the best performers in the 10th frame of all the players. Well, when he had a chance to win in Cleveland, he threw a double in the 10th to beat Brian Voss last year, and he is very tough. As an interesting adventure tomorrow in sports, Chris.
Yachting, whitewater rafting, skiing. Yes, the great outdoors. 3 Eastern, 2 Central, and Pacific tomorrow. Bad leg of David Ferraro's venture with the 10 pin on that left lane.
Just, you want a better result getting a strike, but you can't throw a much better ball. Watch the 6 pin, the 2nd pin on the right-hand part of the screen just accelerates itself around the 10. Look at Ferraro's game. Strike, 7 pin, double, 10 pin, strike, 4 pin, double, solid 10. The best he can bowl is 218. It would be feasible, but he could have had 10 strikes in a row and a potential 300 as well as he's bowled. He's left himself in a position where he has to hope that Jim Pencak opens in order for Ferraro to win the match.
Loser of this game gets $7,000. Hugh Miller, who lost to Pencak in the first game, $6,000. So it's a 217 for Dave Ferraro. Now it's up to this man, Nelson.
Pencak just needs a mark of any type. Strike, it's an automatic winner. A spare and a decent count.
Not yet.
For Jim Pencak, he needs to make this spare and then just get 2 pins. 2 pins are automatic. The spare would be victory number 13 in a row.
Remember, he missed the 4 pin earlier. Okay. Fans starting to get behind Jim Pencak here in our 2nd game. Big and burly. Never played football, however.
Probably why he has such good knees at the foul line. The big guy gets down, plenty of leverage. He'll have a tough semifinal match, though. Tony Westlake.
Another 4 pin, but a big 225 for a 2nd-time winner today. 14 straight wins on